I see Betty. I'm very rude. I put it to you. The fun that they stay, I put it to you.
Okay, everybody. We thought this was an average debate. And then I'm just going to give the rankings from first place to fourth place, and then just talk about what we consider the main bones of contention, and then give the rankings of who ranked above who and where. From first place to fourth place, from first place we've got opening opposition, second place we've got closing opposition, third place we've got opening government, and fourth place we've got closing government. What we consider to be like the main bones of contention is this intention is basically, I'm going to label it when you know, and the effects that it will have on the children when they know, the good parenting, and then thirdly the society and the teachers example, just all of them put together. What we got basically from a government's point of view was because of the negative media and the negative perception of this, it would be like creating a self-fulfilling prophecy for these children if they know. That it would cause them to slack because they use it as an excuse because of this negative stigma. They would not in any way attempt to excel in themselves. But what we got from opposition was that when the idea that when you work, like when you know you work, you understand it and you know how better to approach it. And like that was the main, what we consider to be the main bones of contention between the first half. But then the diagonal between closing opposition and opening government was the good parenting argument of shielding them from the negative perceptions or how important this relationship is. Okay, so in fourth place, why we ranked closing government fourth place. Closing government, you guys came with, we felt like your arguments were very repetitive from opening government. You came and you told us that the parents the parents are acting in the best interest of the child, that this would cause the children not to want to do better because of the negative perceptions created. But then when you look at what opening government brought us, which is exactly the same, the media portrayal, the parents acting in the best, and the excuse, we felt like that was very repetitive of what opening government was saying. And then the whole opening government closing opposition rankings, while closing opposition ranked above opening government. We felt like the whole crux of this debate was about what is in the best interest of the children. What we got from your government is shielding them to the best of their ability because of this discrimination out there. That is what is best for the children. The parents acting in a sense for the children. What we got and what we brought more from closing opposition side is looking at the relationship from the children's side, the harm created, that the lack of trust or the non-understanding or the fact that the child would then have to be isolated on their own, not understanding what is going on. We brought that more from the closing opposition side, that would harm the child more than what they didn't know. And then the closing opposition, opening government, closing opposition, opening opposition rankings. Opening opposition, we felt like you guys, with the arguments that we brought, apart from properly rebutting everything on opening government, you managed to distinguish yourself from closing opposition, because closing opposition, what we got was your extension. We got that very strongly of the parent-child relationship. But from opening opposition, you talked about why this needs to be known in terms of the normalizing it, in discussing it, that it doesn't have to be swept underneath the rug. And this whole normalizing argument, we felt also rebutted what opening government was saying of that there's still not enough understanding about the illness. But in what opening opposition was portraying, that the more it is known, then the more we can learn about it. And you guys also got what we got from in the first half of the opening of government was the idea that then they would be under Ritalin and everything would be fine. You guys brought in the fact that the different way it affects the kids on both levels, whether it works with them and whether it doesn't, and the fact that discrimination would still be there in both cases, which is not detrimental to to the children. Then the argument also that we brought very well is the teachers knowing how to deal with it, and like how society as a whole would then further help the argument. So that's why opening opposition was ranked above closing opposition.
So you guys